Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the South West Herts History Channel with myself, Chris Ogle, and as always, my main man, David. Hello, David.
Hello, Chris. I've been called many things, but never a main man. Good afternoon, Chris. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the show. Let's hope we have a good one.
Yeah. So, what are we talking about today, then, David? Tell us what's going on.
People of note or notoriety within the Watford area. People that surprised me that who has come from Watford and started their lives in Watford. May not have ended up there, but certainly started.
Did we actually have one of the train robbers from here? I don't know whether we may have done, but it wasn't far away, the big train robbery of
it wasn't yesterday. No, it's only about 15-20 miles away towards Leighton Buzzard.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
I haven't come across him, but I wasn't particularly looking for him if he was.
No, I don't. I was just throwing it out there. I don't. I have no idea. Probably not, but I know it wasn't far away. So probably they were from around the southeast, anyhow. So okay.
I've selected 5 pictures that I have to discuss. I've got another couple of people to talk about as well within that. But there's a whole raft of people that come from Watford that have made their way in life a bit larger than the rest of us to a certain extent. But I can mention them.
I've actually come across a few people who, because as you know, I went to Watford Grammar, and they've had their fair share of people who've risen to dizzy heights in one way or another. So
I believe there's an England rugby player came from Watford Boys Grammar at one stage.
Yeah, there've been loads of. They've had all sorts of. Of course, it's not a place where they play football, so it would have been cricket or rugby, those kinds of things where people would have excelled. But we've had some interesting people. Okay, so shall I get the screen sharing in? Let's see
what we can come up with.
What you've got for us. Here we go then. Let's share the screen. Right. Here we go. So who's that guy then?
That is Sir Henry Joseph Wood, born 1869, died in 1944. I think possibly one of the most prominent Watford residents at the time. As far as I'm concerned, out the whole bunch that I've got, he is possibly the most famous. Obviously famous for the Henry Wood concerts at the Albert Hall, the promenade concerts we have every year, massively attended by people. And he had a very, very long career with that. And he actually started in modest circumstances. His parents encouraged him to musical talent, and he started his career as an organist. And then he went to the Royal Academy of Music. His teacher, Manuel Garcia, became an accompanist. And after a similar period for Richard D'Oyly Carte opera companies, the works of Arthur Sullivan, of course, he became the conductor of a small operatic touring company. And he ended up at the Royal Albert Hall with the promenade concerts. Absolutely fantastic man, and so well respected throughout the world for these.
Huh. I mean, I'm sharing my ignorance because I don't know anything about those things. But obviously a talented musician in his own right, was he, or was he mainly a conductor?
He was. He started as an organist. He received such acclaim that he actually declined the chief conductorships of the New York Philharmonic and the Boston Symphony Orchestra, believing it was his duty to serve music in the United Kingdom. A man of convictions. In addition to prominently conducted concerts and festivals throughout the country, also trained and studied orchestra at the Royal Academy of Music, and he had access to classical music. The Wood raised the standard of orchestral playing and nurtured the taste for the public. And the last night of the proms is so brilliantly attended. People queue for days to get tickets, and they've now gone to the stage where they actually broadcast them to proms in the park, in Hyde Park, up in Glasgow and Liverpool, and then Cardiff, I think. So it's a massively supported thing, and the BBC as well support all the promenade concerts. And you'll see at the beginning of the last night that the promenaders, as they're known, take a wreath up and put it around the neck of his bust in the Royal Albert Hall.
All right. So what road did he live in, David?
I don't know what road he lived in. Just said he came from. He was born in Watford, and it's just one of those things that it's good to see these people, that Watford can produce these sort of people. So
be interesting to know where he actually did live, wouldn't it?
It would be if we could. I mean, I looked on Wikipedia to try and get something more concrete, but couldn't do so. It's one of those things that a lot of notable people would like to keep their private address
private.
Private. Again, because it's enough to receive the accolades of people throughout their time serving as a notable person. And once they're performing, they're there for the public. So they do deserve, in my opinion, a little private time.
Mm. Right, okay, so that's Mr. Wood. Who we got next? Oh, now that was a Watford grammar boy.
That is indeed a Watford grammar boy. Terry Scott, or as he was born, Owen John Scott. And born in May 27 and died in 1994 in Whitley, in Surrey. But yeah, we all, I think, knew Terry Scott and Terry and June, and a lot of the Carry On films that he was in as well, and Hugh and I as well, absolutely well accomplished actor and actress in so many different parts. And he also came back to Watford to open the Watford Museum.
Right.
So living up, yeah, oh yeah. But so I'm looking at this Wikipedia thing, and it went on for 6 pages. There was so much information about this man; it's unbelievable. But suffice it to say that I think his most notable thing was with June Whitfield, June and Terry.
Yeah, Terry and June,
middle class couple that a bit of a bumbler really in that particular show.
Yeah, it was probably, if you look back at the show now, you'd probably think to yourself, how did they find that funny? But
oh yeah.
But I remember watching it because I was at school and it used to be on, when in the evenings and stuff. And I always remember my father laughing mad, like laughing crazily at the thing. So yeah.
Well, he also had success, believe it or not, as a pop star.
Really?
A one-hit wonder. Terry Scott doing My Brother. Whoa. Have you never heard of that one?
No, I don't think I have.
Released in 1962, and it's based on a schoolboy character, just one brother talking about the bad habits of his other brother.
Oh, right. Okay.
Blamed each other. But it's a comedy record, and it did very well in the charts. 62 was not, it's sort of the beginning of the change in the musical genre that we had at that time, the rock and pop coming in more and more into that. I think it was coming in 63, so he was out there doing his bit just before they arrived.
Right. Okay. That's Terry Scott, of course. And then we move on to, whoa.
You know this one?
His face does look familiar. Who is it?
It's Michael Benteen.
Ah, yeah.
Michael Benteen of the Goons. Yeah, you rotten spines, you killed me. Michael James Benteen.
Yeah, well, I remember him more for those stupid characters he used to do, with the where you couldn't see him. It was just these strange sort of characters he used to do on kids shows.
Well, he had his own show. That was it, Michael Benteen's Potty Time.
That's it. Yeah.
He had a flea circus on there at one stage.
Yeah. But
again, more known for his acting and comedy within the Goons with Harry Seacombe and oh good grief, God, shows how bad it is with my name. But Peter Sellers, Spike
right.
Murray Seacombe, and yeah, they formed mostly the Goons and performed all over. One of Prince Charles' favourite comedy groups, I believe, at the time. And he actually performed with them at one stage.
Right.
So but yeah, he was born in Watford, but he ended up growing up in Folkestone. But he was educated at Eton.
Right.
Another one of the things. But his father was Peruvian.
He looks quite a dapper lad, doesn't he?
Oh, he does, yeah, he was. And he volunteered for all services during the war. In the RAF was his first choice, owing to the influence of his father's experience. Initially rejected because of his father's nationality being Peruvian.
Right.
But he was in Ron Aitken's Shakespearean Company in Regent's Park, and until he was called up for service in the RAF, believe it or not. But again, another very accomplished comedian that we have from Watford.
Interesting.
Now, you hold that there. I mean, the next one I haven't got the picture for him, although there are plenty out there, but it doesn't come up there. Is one of the more, or the less notable, shall we say, more notoriety than notable. One Nicholas William Nick Leeson.
Oh, Nick Leeson from
Leeson. Yes,
who went to Parmiter's, of course.
Indeed, he did. So yeah, he was the cause of the fall of Barings Bank.
Yeah.
He was sentenced to prison and since 1999 became and subsequently resigned as the chief executive officer of the League of Ireland club Galway United. And he's a e-learning educator named Zintra, mentoring new and experienced traders in avoiding the common pitfalls of trading.
That's what he does now.
Yeah, it's like poacher turned gamekeeper. So he knows how to do it, and this is how to avoid doing it and possibly getting caught doing it.
Yeah.
But he was born in Watford. Yeah, went to Parmiter's after finishing school in 1985. His first job was as a clerk with a private bank, Coots, the Queen's Bank.
Yeah, he made all sorts of mess, and basically almost like was the forerunner of this is what happens if you let greed take over. And of course, what with the financial deregulation and stuff, that basically, it was just a bubble that was going to go pop, and he got caught with his pants down.
Well, this is it, and you play with the devil, you can end up residing with him. That's his way, but he's one of the more.
But he was the fall guy. At the end of the day, he took the fall for everyone else. So I guess at the end of the day, he wasn't a senior official.
I think it was at one stage. Just double check this. That he was appointed general manager of a new operation in futures market on the Singapore International Monetary Exchange at one stage.
But but general manager, there would have been checks and balances, and there were people above him that would have sanctioned that. And when it all went belly up,
the problem was that I don't think they carried out the checks and balances, did they?
Well, that was the point. But in that case, his governors should have taken the rap, but they put him down instead.
Well, there you go.
I think there's a lot more to that story than what we saw in the newspapers. That's for sure.
I imagine. Yeah. Right, now we have the next one coming up. Another very familiar face. Don't have to tell you who it is.
No way.
Yeah. Molam, English Labour Party politician, as you know, she was born in Watford. Born at I know this one, 43 King Street in Watford.
Right in the town centre, isn't it?
Yeah. It's where the old cinema / bingo hall was. King Street. So it's in that neck of the woods that she was born there. Middle of 3 children. She was born in 1949. It says here till August 2005.
Right.
So yeah, another very. I think she was the first minister for Ireland, was she not? The Northern Ireland during the problems with the IRA, and did a lot of the collaboration with along with Tony Blair to try and bring some peace in Northern Ireland.
Right.
But a very forthright lady. Was it? Yeah, she was the Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, Minister for the Cabinet Office.
Well, interesting. Do you know another? And I'm sure there are many, but another local politician who I've not had dealings with myself personally. But yeah. Well, his father, Cyril Oates, was my French teacher, and he was born in Watford, Mark Oaten.
Yeah, he was the leader of the local Lib Dem party at one stage.
Yeah, born in Watford, councillor in local government, and then
he blotted his copybook with some scandal at that stage, and I think sort of fell from grace.
Yeah. Yeah, he was Home Affairs spokesperson for the Lib Dems in 2003. He stood for the position of leader of the Liberal Democrats in 2006, but withdrew when there were a few scandals going on. I think there was a few rent boy.
Yeah, again, something that we possibly don't give too much credence to these days was the homosexuality, which again shouldn't. I suppose it's just the fact that it was with rent boys that caused the problem.
Yeah,
but miles all over until suddenly you withdraw and disappear.
That's right. There's no. Let's just say that that's all alleged, and we know nothing about that. And
this is alleged, absolutely.
Keep the copybook blot free there. So Mo Mowlam, and is she still going? Or?
No, I think it gives her years as up until looking at it. It says Mo Mowlam, 18th of September 49 to the 19th of August 2005. So 56, and looks like she passed on then.
Right.
So no longer with us on that basis. But again, a very forceful character.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at the picture there, and it looks like she suffered almost something like cancer or alopecia, and she used to wear a hairpiece.
Right.
But that's personal. I mean, I don't need to go into that.
No.
Okay. The next one, next one I've not got a picture of again.
Okay.
But another Watford grammar school boy who's making good in the world today, and by the name of Chris Ogle, I came across on the Watford Boys Grammar School site. Perhaps you can
the Watford Boys. I'm not on their site, am I?
Well, I've got a picture of you and some words about you on Chris Ogle, Link for Growth, SME 7, 2020 BC, Watford United Kingdom, Information Technology and Services, current Link for Growth Limited, Community Building. One person has recommended Chris.
One person. That sounds about right.
So starting to build a good variety of workshops. We don't need to teach our kids to code. We need to teach the kids what to do with themselves, and why I'm putting my faith in innovation and creation. Yeah. So it's out there in that great big wide world, Chris.
Oh, blimey! I had no idea. I shall have to contact the school and.
What I did was to Google Chris Ogle, and my word, he came up.
Yeah, well, there'd be quite a lot of stuff on there. I would have thought. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. I thought,
I'm not hiding.
I'll give you the curveball this week.
Yeah, thank you for that. Right, my next one's David Sawyer.
I wasn't born in Watford.
Yeah, no, I was. So actually, I was born in Stanborough. So where the Seventh-day Adventists is, and there's Stanborough School. That used to be a hospital around there, and I think that was where I was born.
Quite possibly, yeah. I know we had lots of different hospitals in Watford through the years.
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't Leavesden Hospital you were born in?
No. I was almost sectioned there.
People said good things about you there, I'm sure.
Yeah. So moving on, next one.
Now, Skilly William. Guess what he used to do?
Skilly
Any
William.
ideas?
He's got a hat on.
He used that while he was doing what he did. Is Reginald George Skilly Williams, born 4th of January 1890 and died 19th of June 1959, so 69 years old. He was an English Association football player. Born in Watford, he played primarily as a striker during his amateur career, but later switched to become a goalkeeper, hence the hat.
Right.
Back in those days. After playing for Leavesden Mental Hospital in their football team, as well as for Hertfordshire, Williams joined Watford FC as an amateur in 1910, turning professional in 1914. And during his first season as a professional, Watford won the 1914-1915 Southern Football League title. League football was then interrupted for 4 seasons, as we know, for the First World War. And on its launch in 1919, Williams again played a part as Watford. Finished runners-up to Portsmouth on goal average. So, the Watford footballer, born and bred in Watford, started amateur, and I should imagine, although he turned professional, Watford, the Southern Football League title was not possibly anything like we have in the first 4 divisions that we have at the moment. But was it Watford? Most Watford appearances by a goalkeeper: 83 in the Southern League, 240 in the Football League, 17 in the FA Cup, and 1 in the Southern Charity Cup. And he stayed at Watford until 1926 before making a move to Brighton and Hove Albion on a free transfer. But no, it's a name that is not known in Watford, but a Watford player for some considerable time.
So we know that there are a few other, there are some interesting ones there, but there's some other folk that are interesting as well, and who you haven't mentioned yet.
Well, I have a list here of others that you may or may not know. One chap called Vinnie Jones.
He was born in Bedman, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a local lad. Nick Knight.
Nick Knight. What does he do?
He was an Essex and England cricketer and now a Sky television pundit on cricket.
Right.
Yeah. One that we see more often on television virtually every day now is Bradley Walsh.
Bradley was born in Abbots Langley and was in the same class at Francis Coombe as my sister. I'll tell you a funny story about Bradley, because he used to play football for Rolls-Royce, and he used to play football for Barnet. He was a semi-professional footballer. Yeah. And he used to do a lot. He used to do Norman Wisdom impersonations on a Sunday evening in the Leavesden in Rolls-Royce clubhouse. And actually, him and I sat down and had a conversation many moons ago about starting a comedy club in Watford together. Him and I. So I've actually spent a bit of time talking with old Bradley. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I last saw him at a recording of Play to the Whistle with Holly Willoughby,
right.
Frank Lampard. And to be fair, we had to queue up for that show in very cold November night. I think it was outside the studios in Wembley, because they were overrunning on the first one. And at the end of the recording, he was the only one of the 6 there that came forward and said to the audience, "Thank you very much. We understand how cold it was for you outside, and we really appreciate your being here," which I think was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Someone who's taken the trouble to say thank you for us being there and seeing, basically paying his wages at the end of the day.
Well, I think he grew up in Marlin Square in Abbots Langley. Do you remember? Do you know where Marlin Square is?
I've heard of Marlin Square.
It's you know, if you go down the high street from the church, from St Lawrence's Church, yeah. and then you got that little hall on the left hand side. You've got the road that goes down goes down there past another church, I think it is, and the parade of shops ends, and then as you go down towards the bottom, it becomes it's a dead end, but there's a square towards the left. If you go right to the end and then you turn around, it comes back on itself, and that's Marlin Square. I think that's where he grew up.
Oh, so a truly local lad. One here that I didn't know and had no idea, and I don't think many people would do, that I have another footballer, Gareth Southgate.
Really?
Yeah, I have him as a local lad, which means to say, of course, the Southgate family must have come from this way. And it's not just him, his brother as well that was in football. But one that we all know, some might love her more than others, is Jerry Halliwell.
Yeah.
Ginger Spice. I think she was born around either Jubilee or Diamond Road in Callowlands, North Watford.
Yeah, she was born in North Watford, just off the St Albans Road there somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, I think more off the Leavesden Road. I think that neck was near the playing fields that I have up.
Yeah, okay.
Another one from the past, one that I remember very well, is Cyril Fletcher.
Oh, the guy that used to read in the chair.
That's it, the odd odes on the Esther Ransom show.
No way, he wasn't from Watford, was he?
He was from Watford as well.
Huh.
It's quite amazing, really. The last one I have on my list is Stephen Finn. All 6'7" of him.
Stephen Finn. No good getting him a tiny car, is there? 6'7".
Really helped him as a
basketball player?
No. An England cricketer. Fast bowler. Which height is a great deal of thing for a fast bowler. Bring the ball down from a much higher trajectory and make it more difficult for the batsman. Had a problem, keep kicking the stumps over though. As he bowled, his leg caught the stump, and it ended up every time he did that, the umpire would rule it a no ball. Quite rightly too. He's had to change. Again, a very successful England cricketer. Again, comes from here, and I believe he was also a Watford grammarian.
Right. I mean, there are some interesting characters who went to Watford Grammar, and I don't know, I don't know the details, but there was one that's ended up being, I don't know, McDonald's or Burger King national manager, general manager for the country. There's people who have risen to dizzy heights in retail and all sorts. So lots of people that have become incredibly successful, but you wouldn't necessarily hear of them.
That's right. I mean, when I was going through the list, and I've only selected a few there because otherwise we could be here all day long, but we have sculptors, we have artists, we have authors, other sports people. There was another England and Arsenal football player, Kelly, one of the ladies' football team.
Yeah.
One that I haven't mentioned, who's been a most successful sportsman and still is, of course, is Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
An Olympic gold medalist, boxing, and now a champion boxer.
Yeah.
And if I remember rightly, before McDonald's appeared in St Albans Road, it used to be the Hertfordshire Arms.
Yep.
Longest bar in Watford. But above that, as far as I remember, there used to be a boxing club.
I've never been a boxer, so I wouldn't have known, but I could believe that it's a big pub. In fact, it was the longest bar in Hertfordshire, I think.
Yeah. So, it's fully possible. I don't know if that's where he trained or not, but I know that was there. Because of gold medal, we have a gold post box in the High Street.
We do.
Yeah.
Not solid gold, because it wouldn't be there still if it was solid gold.
5 minutes, yeah. Gold painted post box because of Anthony Joshua's gold medal during the 2012 Olympics.
Yeah.
So it's been the best part of 5 years, or nearly 5 years, isn't it? 4.5 years. It's good to know that Watford can produce people of notable effort and skills.
Well, let's not be. Let's be honest. There are lots and lots of people that do some amazing stuff in Watford and never receive notoriety or popularity in the newspapers and that. But what we're doing with Link for Growth is we're trying to give all the people doing great things a really good raise the profile, raise their visibility, so that all the local people know the people in the town who are doing great work. Because unfortunately, most of those go unnoticed.
Yes, you have that gentleman in South Oxley that's doing great things down there.
Yes, Sandy Baloney, amazing. Some of the stuff people do, and they put themselves out week in, week out, and you never hear of them, and yet they're doing, without their effort, life would be very different here.
And it's up to us to make sure that people know about what they're doing and the good things.
Absolutely right.
Unlike the Watford Observer. Oh, who said that?
Allegedly.
We're here to produce good news.
Righty ho! I fear at the end of another show, but it's been interesting, really interesting. Well done for digging out those names. I'm sure there'll be an absolute plethora of people saying, "You didn't mention such and such. You didn't mention this person, that person."
There are so many.
There are so many. What perhaps do is have a page where people can submit all these people that have done great things, and we can start to recognise those people. How about that? That'd be a good idea.
Sounds good. Yeah, so we can get it all in one place.
Yeah,
one place that we can then direct people to show where the good and things come from. And so, as you said, not just necessarily the notoriety or the flavour of
popularity.
So it's get them all out there.
Fabulous stuff. Okay, well, thanks very much, David, and for your research. And we'll be back again in a couple of weeks. We'll try. We were talking about this to mention what we're going to be talking about within a short time frame of this show, so that we can start to tell people in advance, and people can even provide us with some content.
Absolutely. Well, one person has asked us on numerous occasions, when are we going to do Croxley Green?
Next time.
The next time can be Croxley Green.
Croxley Green. So we'll find something to talk about in Croxley Green, and we'll get our
Carberry. Put your ears on.
Absolutely. And there's the revels. There's all sorts of things we could be talking about Croxley. So Croxley Green it is 2 weeks from now. If you've got some information on Croxley, do submit it to us. You can get us on the Facebook. You can get us all over the place. L4GSW Hearts if you want to on Twitter. And give us some gen on Croxley. We'd love to hear from you. So thank you, David.
Thank you, Chris. Another good show. Thank you.
Yep, thank you very much. And we'll see you all in a couple of weeks' time. So it's goodbye from me and
goodbye from me.
Okay, take care now.
Cheers.